Hi everyone, and welcome to Movies and More. Now you may have noticed we've changed the channel name from Movies to Movies and More. The reason for this is because we wanted to be a little bit more diverse, and we will keep doing the movie and TV reviews, but every now and again I feel like I'd like to review something else, like a beer review maybe, or anything at all, like a tech review, like these DJI mini mics I've got. Anything. So changing it to Movies and More just gives us a little bit more scope to allow us to review and talk about something completely different. And to start this, I'd like to tell you about a project that I started last year. So towards the end of 2024, I decided that I'd like to have a garden room, or if you want to call it a man cave or pub, at the end of the garden. And I'd like to show you the before and after of what we achieved, and see what you think. Okay, to start at the beginning, I had railway sleepers all the way up my garden with a retaining wall at the back made of sleepers, and raised beds and a greenhouse, and this all worked really well. But after 15 to 20 years, as you can see in some of the pictures, how badly rotten the sleepers were. Now, they were supposed to be pressure treated and what have you, but as you can see, they have absolutely rotted through, and they weren't gonna work as a retaining wall for much longer. So something really needed to be done about it. And we came up, after talking to a local tradesman, with the idea of replacing them with concrete. And these concrete barriers work very well, and they are not going to rot away like the others. And after he put in these concrete to replace the sleepers and dug some of the earth out to level it off a bit, I'm now at a position where I can think about getting a garden room to fit in the space. So I looked all around the internet for people doing garden rooms, and I wanted, after the rotting sleepers, I wanted something that was low maintenance, that wasn't gonna rot and wasn't gonna warp and get infested like wood. So I went away from wood, and I was looking at composite, and I found a company called Composite Garden Buildings, who I highly recommend. They will do the lot, full install, do the base, full install, electrics, everything. And they weren't the cheapest, but they did look the best, and being of a composite material, I'm coming up to a year now and I've done no maintenance whatsoever, and it still looks fantastic. So after going up to the showroom and looking at the composite buildings and having a chat with the people there, I decided to get them round to measure up, and we could work out what we could do and how much, obviously, that it would cost. So Jason, the owner, came and measured, told me exactly how we could do it and how long it would take, and we decided that we would go ahead with this. So the next stage was to pay a deposit after I'd designed exactly how I wanted it, with windows and doors of whichever size I chose, wherever I wished, and the colour of the inside and the out, and then arrange for them to come round and put it in. So first of all, they came and they came to do the base on the first day. After that first day with the base, the second day, wow, they really got on with it. Putting up the walls and etc. and the roof, and by the time we come to the end of the third day, it was completed. Incredibly quick, and this includes the electrician coming in to wire it up for me, wire it up to the house, and also wire in the lighting. And I had my idea was to have a snooker table, so have a light above the snooker table. Everything completed in 3 days. Quite amazing, really. It was a good team of workers that really got on and done a fantastic job. And now I'd like to show you the finished article. Here we are. Welcome to the Dog and Duck. Let's go in and have a look. Excuse the fly screens, but they're there for if it's really hot. I can have the doors wide open and no infestation. So we have carpet tiles. I didn't want a hard floor because it would echo too much. I decided to go for carpet tiles so that if someone spills some drink, which will probably happen at some point, I can just whip one tile up and put another one down. The red line you see on the floor is a laser Oki for the dartboard. I think it's called a Viper. So it's the throwing line. And we have a lit board, good selection of darts to use, and a scoreboard for whatever games we might be playing. Over here we have a pinball and a gaming machine, arcade machine, of which both have got probably hundreds of games on each. And over here we have the multitude of snooker cues and rests and some pool balls, as well as the snooker balls on the table. So what we got here is an 8-foot table, which is, I think it's 2/3 of a full size, which just about fits in here nice, considering the bars at one end. Also, the 8-foot snooker table has 3 hard tops that go on it to make it a great big dining table, which can be extremely good if you want to sit around a table with food, playing games, playing cards, board games, and also for putting an extremely large jigsaw on, which I've done. A nice big 5,000 piece jigsaw, which was very, very large and took a long time to do. And I had friends come round and had a go on it. So the table functions, it doubles. So if you've got it for snooker, pool, and you put the tops on, you can use it for anything else. And it really is a really large table when you put the tops on. We have air conditioning. This will keep it lovely and cool in the summer and nice and warm in the winter. And the room is really well insulated. So once it gets warm, it holds the heat extremely well. Going along now, we have a 55-inch TV for entertainment, a seating area, and we have a jukebox. I've not got any music playing at the moment because of the copyright issues, but on the jukebox you just flick through your pages. There's Lots and lots of music on here. Fantastic piece of software. I might do a review on that at some point. And then if we go along to the bar area, you see that we have a good selection of spirits. Nice dog and duck sign there, look. Neon sign. Selection of snacks behind the bar. We have some seating and footstools. And we have 2 pumps at the front on the bar. And then 3 beer machines over here. So we can have 5 different beers on at the same time. And then we go down to the beer fridge, which at the moment has got 2 kegs in, running to the 2 beer pumps. And if I just pan around, you can see we have a good selection of different glasses to use. Ooh. This is your view if you're standing behind the bar. The room itself is about 6.2, I think, long, meters that is, and 4.5 meters wide. Just about enough space for an 8-foot snooker table. The only tight area is this corner here, where you may, very rarely, but you may have a shot that would need one of the shorter cues. But all in all, the 8-foot table fits in lovely. So this is my man cave, or I call it a pub. Garden room. As I say, it's extremely well insulated. It really is a fantastic place, and when we have many people around, have a really good night. So there it is. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for watching.